Hello all, how we're getting on? So we're back in action on Tuesday night. So we're making the trip down to Rotherham to the New York Stadium. So this is the match preview for the up and coming game down there. So following on from our 1-1 draw against Bristol City on Saturday, which on the face of it now isn't a bad result. I said on the video after the game, they're a decent side. They're probably one of the better sides that we've played, in the last few games at the stadium. They came with a game plan, and it was a fair result. 1-1 draw, so not a bad result. I don't think in the end. Could quite easily have ended in defeat, but we'll move on. So we'll now go to Rotherham, a very out of form Rotherham team, who were managed by Matty Taylor. He's been there since October 2022. He took over from Paul Warne. Obviously Paul Warne got them promoted last season. He then went to Derby. So Matty Taylor, who is the ex-Exeter manager, got the job in October 22. Now since he took over, he hasn't had a very good time of it. So I've got the stats here. So he's played 23, he's won 4, he's drew 7, he's lost 12, and he's only took 19 points out of his time there since October, last year. So they're not doing very well, and that's kind of. It got in the league position. They're currently sat in 21st position. They've not won in 5 games. They've only won 1 game in the last 13. And I think that was an FA Cup game. I think they beat Ipswich 4-0 or 4-1. So, they're on a terrible run of form. They lost 2-0 at home to Coventry at the weekend, which from all accounts, they felt a little bit hard done by. I think Jordan Hugill got a goal in the early stage, which was disallowed for a foul on the goalkeeper, which was very soft. They then went on to concede 2 second half goals, and they lost 2-0. So they plunged them further towards a relegation zone. So overall this season, they've played 32, they've won 7, they've drew 12, they've lost 13, and they've scored 34, conceded 44. They've got 33 points, and like I said, they're sat 4th from bottom, so only 1 place outside the relegation zone. So desperate times for them. They'll be looking to battle and fight and scrap and get any win they can, really. At home, they do fare slightly better at home, so they've played 15 at home. They've won 5, drew 5 and lost 5. They've scored 24, they've conceded 19, and they've took 20 out of the 33 points they've took at home this season, and they're currently 15th in the home form table league. So it's a tough game to kind of assess, because even though they're out of form, like I said, they're going to be scrapping and fighting for everything, but to try and get away from that relegation zone, to try and stick in the league. As you know, over recent years they've been a bit of a yo-yo team. I think they've been promoted and relegated in something like 4 of the 5 last seasons or something, or they might have made 5 of the last 5 last seasons. They're one of them teams that seem to be too good for League One but not good enough for the Championship. Obviously they got promoted last season. I think the best part of the players went to Sheffield Wednesday, like Michael Smith, the centre forward, and so it was a bit of a strange one that they got promoted, but some of the players dropped back down to League One. This season, the top goal scorer this season is Chidozie Ogbene. He's got 6 goals. Connor Washington's there as well. He's got 5. And the next top goal scorer is a centre half, Richie Wood. But they have got Jordan Hugill there at the moment, who had that goal disallowed at the weekend. They've also got Bailey Wright there as well, as we know. Went there on loan in January. Obviously he can't play because he's on loan from us. Can't play against your parent club, so it is going to be it's one of them games where you've got to fight and scrap with them and match their kind of physicality, if you like. They're going to be up for it. And the last time we went down there, remember the beat was 5-1. So, and that was Aidan McGeady got sent off that game, and it was an absolute nightmare game. And that was the last time we played them. We obviously are down there away. Obviously we beat them at home 3-0 earlier in the season, when I think they were doing quite well at the time. So it's going to be a hard game, but I feel like we owe them one after that 5-1 defeat down there. So I'm going to say that even though it's going to be a fight and a scrap, it might be a little bit like the QPR game. Whereas if we dig in and we match them, we then get an early goal or a couple of goals, and it'll kind of knock their spirit a little bit. And I'm going to go for a 4-0 win. I feel like we owe them one. They're on a poor run of form. If we can get in front, it'll dent their confidence. Their fans will get on the back. And let's go down there and keep this good run going. We're unbeaten now in 5 games. We're still in 5th in the league. 3 points on Tuesday night will be a massive step to keep us up there. And the referee for that game and all is Chris Kavanagh, who is the same referee that we had against QPR. So let's hope we can have the same type result, just not give the opposition a penalty. But there's 2,200 of you travelling down there to support the lads on and roar them on, hopefully to another 3 points and a comfortable win. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Team selection wise, I think again we might see another couple of changes as we're trying to manage the squad through this this tough run of games. So I think there might be a couple of changes in defence. I thought Trey Hume looked a little bit tired on Saturday, and I think Agielisi looked a little bit tired as well, if I'm honest. So I think we might see, we might even possibly see Luke Wear-Tyne drop into that right back role alongside Bat and Ballard, and I think Dennis Certain might come in to give Agielisi a rest. In midfield, I think Michu, like I say, he was probably, if he'd stopped on the pitch, he'd have been my man of the match on Saturday. So I think he'll keep his place alongside Dan Neil. I think we might see Pritchard come in, and I think Roberts might get a rest. He's put some hard yards in the last few games, Roberts, so I think he might drop him to the bench, give him a rest. So I think Pritchard might come in for Roberts. I think Ahmad might be dropped out again because he looked off it a little bit. Not poor, but he just looked off it a little bit compared to the high standards he set over the weeks before. And so I think we might see Ekwa in there for his league debut. I'm looking forward to seeing him. When he's come on, he looks big, strong. Might be just what we need to match their physicality, in midfield. And I think we'll obviously Jack Clark on the left hand side and Joe Geltart. Now I think Joe Geltart's an interesting one because I've seen some comments on social media and around Twitter and what have you, slating him. Saying he's not for us, shouldn't have signed him. He's not the right type of player. But you've got to think he's still a young lad. He's not played much football. He's still getting up to speed. And Tony Mowbray said himself he hasn't done much training with the lads because we've been kind of managing ourselves through this tough period of games. So it's kind of play, rest, recruit, rate, player again. So he's still getting to find out the way we're playing, the way we want him to play. Now, obviously the longer it goes on and the longer he doesn't get a goal, the more criticism he's going to get. And I just hope it's not going to turn out to be a little bit like the Will Grigg, a situation where it just dragged on and on before he got his first goal and it just never happened for him. So I'm hoping on Tuesday he can get his first goal. Away from home he's looked better. He looked good against QPR. He worked his socks off. I was unlucky not to get a goal that night. On Saturday he didn't really get a chance to get out of the game. Having said that, he did play a part in the goal. He played the pass through for Jack Clark's goal. So let's hope he can get it on the score sheet. But as long as he's contributing to how the team's playing and he helps us get 3 points, then that's good enough for me. So, but let us know what your thoughts are. What do you think the team selection will be? Do you think we'll keep the same team? Do you think we'll make changes? Do you think we should make changes, and what the score will be? But that's just my match review for the up and coming game on Tuesday. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Anybody who clicks on and watches me waffling on for a bit, it's greatly appreciated. And watch out for the match review that'll come out after the game on Tuesday. But as always, like I always say, anybody travelling down there, have a safe trip. Down to Rotherham. I'll be putting an away day guide in the comments for anybody travelling down there, like the pubs and the parking and what have you. Like I said, there's 2,200 travelling down there on Tuesday. Great support. But thank you for watching. Take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon.